Hey, drop. Yeah, hey, drop.
Welcome. It's your man, DJ Dots, aka the God of Dots, back with another episode of The Audible, giving you sports breakdown from the mind of a genius. I will say that much. I am a genius. I'm just playing. Now, giving you the daily sports breakdown, news, day, all that good stuff. Of course, we're going to be talking about NBA playoffs, man. Second round, semifinals. But like it might be wrapping up or it might be extended. We might be looking forward to a game 7. I don't know. Let me kind of peek back in on the score. Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's had a good day. Okay, look like Philly trying to close the door at home. How you doing, Miss Murphy? Those who don't know, 76ers and Celtics have tipped off Game 6. Celtics are currently up by 12. And Jason Tatum has played poorly. 0 for 8 already. Does have 6 boards, 5 assists. Damn, if he's playing that bad, what is Embiid doing? Hell, he's not even better. 1 for 7. Jesus. Might be going to a Game 7. I know I missed yesterday, had a work event to kind of go to, but yeah, I do want to talk about tonight's games. Way it's looking now, looks like Boston kind of holds on. We're going to a Game 7 in Boston. If I'm Philly, I'm confident I can win a Game 7 in Boston. You've won 2 up there already. But if I'm Philly, I don't want to take my chances 3 times. I don't know. But then again, Boston, I've been saying it for the longest. Those who have been listening to me, I've been saying it for the longest. Boston doesn't look like the same team as last year defensively. And that's why they kind of made their money last year. That just doesn't look like the same team. But, who knows? We go to a 7 and man, anything goes. Typically at Game 7s, a lot of players get tight. Shots come up short. It comes down to free throws, turnovers, that kind of stuff. But we'll see. Get the girls in the buildings and get the people what they want. Joel versus Joe, even good folks. We'll see. They're at home right now. They're losing. Still first half. It's not like Boston is running away with it. Jason Tatum is playing poorly right now. So has Embiid. You would think Philadelphia would have came out with a little bit more energy. Seeing this all, you can close the door on Boston, possibly get you some rest because hell, who knows? The Miami-New York series may be going 7. I don't know. If you missed games, what was that? What's today? Thursday? I'm on the show Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday night. You had, of course, Lakers falling out to Golden State. I would say this. I expected as much, but I look at that game. It's a lot of positives take from that game from a Lakers fan. A lot of negatives. Wiggins got going. Draymond got going. Steph was still Steph, but on a lesser level. Jordan Poole kind of got it going. Clay, and then you have the AD injury. I mean, y'all know how I feel about AD. How you doing, Miss VS? Y'all know how I feel about AD getting hurt. I mean, you breathe on this dude wrong. Now, mind you, he got hit. I ain't gonna downgrade, but he said he's gonna be okay. For you Phoenix Suns fans, bad news today. Has been reported that DeAndre Ayton has been ruled out of tonight's game. 10 o'clock tip off. For those who don't know, Denver looks like they ready to shut the door on these boys. Joker's ready to move on. We'll see. We'll see. DeAndre Ayton is out. Not that I'm gonna be honest. The way Ayton has played this playoff run, it's not like they're missing a whole lot with him. I think Landale can be a suitable enough replacement. That's because it wasn't like Ayton was giving Yoke problems anyway. So why not get a guy who's actually motivated, actually wants to play a little bit of defense, and see how it goes. I think if Phoenix has a chance tonight, like I've been saying the entire series, KD and Book got to get 35 apiece, at least 35 apiece to make this a series. The other night they had some help, game 4. Landry Shamet, but Durant, Book have got to go 35 apiece for this to be this series to be extended. I think it ends tonight. That's just my personal opinion. Thought Philadelphia was going to close the door on Boston. Still early, still first half. But let me kind of peek back here on the game because I know, typically when my show starts, it's about to be halftime. Okay, they're still up 12. So we'll see if Boston is able to force a game 7 back at home. I know you Philly fans out there don't want to hear that. You guys want to go ahead and move on, get you guys some more rest. But, as a sports fan, it's nothing like a game 7, man. Nothing like a game 7. Think about the, game 7 in Boston, MVP. Man, that could be a great scene, but we'll know. Who knows? If I had to put money on it, the way they're playing right now is, Philly's, playing kind of sloppy. If they don't clean it up, it's going 7. I think Denver, go ahead, closes out Phoenix tonight. Go ahead, close the casket on them boys. It's been a different kind of season in Phoenix. Give KD and Book, some time to work together, synergize their games a little bit more instead of just your turn, And I like the head coach of Phoenix, man, but like, how do you? And I get you got to win games. So basically, their offense is like, your turn, and typically, that's not a sustainable model for success. And I get it. It was a midseason trade. You haven't been able to really develop a system around those two superstar scorers. So, maybe in the offseason when their season is over. Now, I think their season is over tonight, roughly about 1 a.m., 1:30-ish Eastern Standard Time. I think their season is over. Hey, work on a system and really look at, I would probably move Ayton. He's not, for what you're paying him. I mean, you don't need a center. A lot of teams don't even really roll out with a traditional center type anyway. So I don't understand that conception. Like, you got to have a center. No, give me a big man. Give me a Kevon Looney, guy 6'9", 6'10" that can rebound. And bother some shots. He doesn't even have to be a shot blocker. How many dominant 7-footers do we have in the NBA anyway that played a traditional quote unquote center position? You can't say Yo gets it done in the post, but Yo does a lot of his work from around the perimeter, orchestrating offense. Same with Embiid. Embiid kind of likes to work out of the paint. Now that he can't go down there, but that's he likes the little free throw line game. Midi can shoot the 3. Like, how many dominant big men, 7-foot big men do we have at a traditional post player? So if I'm Phoenix, get rid of DeAndre Ayton. Go ahead, get off of him while you're still young. You can possibly get some assets. Try to get some assets. Rebuild your bench, and maybe you'll come out looking better next season. And of course, go come back to this Lakers Warriors. I think it ends in 6. I think the Lakers going to come out a little bit motivated. If you've heard the commentary talking about the dirty play, and I don't think it was dirty, but I don't know that man's intention. This is playoff basketball. I'm old school. I remember guys actually being dirty. Shout out to you, bad boys. Ms. VS says, okay, Philly's making a run. They're closing the gap. Okay, all right. Philly, you go ahead, close it out tonight. You don't want to take a chance. Game 7, anything goes. Anything goes. And Philly, if you can get it done, get it done. Also, want to break down the New York Miami series. New York, they won the other night. Jalen Brunson, scored 30-some points. But here's the key thing: you don't have to back up point guard quickly. Yeah, Brunson didn't come out the game. Can he keep this up for the rest of the series? I mean, been a long year. It's a lot on your plate, your workload, your legs get tired. Can you keep it up? See, Ms. V, I'm gonna need me like a sports ticker, but I'll work on that another day. But okay, 50-43. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, it's still a game, like I said, Boston had too much. He hasn't played well. Tonight, Jason Tatum, especially, I said, my opinion before the series started, Jaylen Brown was going to be the most important player for the Celtics, the most dynamic player for the Celtics. Not that Tatum is bad. Tatum is first team All NBA, first team. Tatum is in line, I want to say, for a Supermax contract worth $319 million, which I think he'll go ahead and get. Jaylen Brown, second team All NBA. I think he's due for like a $295 million Supermax. I've been hearing reports that he'll be offered a contract, but it'd be like a sign and trade. I don't think they want to have two Supermax contracts with those guys on the books, but I don't know. The way the new CBA is kind of set up, it's not really it's really going to punish teams for abusing the luxury tax. But that is a story for another day. Like I said, I'm not going to be here too long. I wanted to kind of get in and enjoy some of the games. I especially want to get back to watching this Philly Boston. Can Philly wrap it up at home? We'll see. Gator Girl says, don't downplay the Knickerbocker. Hey, I'm not downplayed at all. Good game. But can you sustain that level of play on the road? They was up big in the second half. Miami closed it down, and it became a game, when it shouldn't have been. And how, Grimes played. I want to say Grimes played the whole game. Brunson played the whole game. I mean, 48 minutes. Can they keep it up? I wanted to make, I enjoy the basketball just for the basketball. So if it goes to 7, hey, I love it. Game 7, Garden. What bigger stage is that? But you got to go down to Miami and hope Miami, they shot kind of cold in the last game. So can they refine their form? And Jimmy Butler really hasn't been dominant this series. I mean, we're kind of due for a Jimmy Buckets game where he goes out and gets 40 plus. Like we're kind of due for that in this series. He really hasn't had a dominant game like he had in the Milwaukee series. I think Jimmy is due home game 6, chance to close it out at home. I think we see a motivated Jimmy Butler, a very aggressive Jimmy Butler. Y'all know how I am with my picks. I pick something and typically something else happens, but I got a feeling that Miami's going to close it out in game 6. I got a feeling Miami's going to go ahead and shut the door, get the boys up on out of here. And we'll see. Can Philly move on to the next round tonight? Oh, thank you, Ms. Viss. I didn't even know. Thank you. I didn't know I crossed over 100 subs. Yay, we're doing the work. And speaking of work, speaking of, they have released NFL schedule has been released as of tonight. It's still kind of trickling out, but each team has kind of released their full schedule. You know how the NFL wants to make it a whole event and show, but a lot of these teams have already kind of leaked out their schedules. Only thing we were really worried about, we knew who you were playing. We didn't know when you were playing. So not that big of a reveal, but it is some games that I did want to kind of touch on, like some of the intriguing games from this upcoming season. Now it's kind of hard to tell who will be good, who will be bad. Typically, who the most consistent teams are, but just you never know. It's always kind of like a surprise team, a team that kind of jumps up there. And closer we get to the season, I will be giving my NFL preview, of course, breaking down not only schedules, but how teams are looking, how the schedule kind of breaks for them, what I see their future looking like for the season. And one of my dark horse picks last year, Detroit Lions, who didn't make the playoffs, made a valiant push. Took them a little, too long to kind of get they ish together. But they're going to be starting out the season, um, going to Kansas City as the home game, home opener for the Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions. I think that's going to be a good game. We're going to get an early look at some of the changes the Chiefs have made, and we'll kind of go over that, in more detail when the NFL preview show. I get around to doing that close to the season starting. But I'm glad that Detroit is getting this look. I'm glad Detroit is kind of getting this look because a lot of teams don't get this look. Typically, when we had the opening kickoff game, it's typically Super Bowl rematch when you had the teams from the last season Super Bowl kind of kick the season off. But I like this look for Detroit because a lot of people didn't get a chance to really see Detroit on TV, not understanding how good of a team offensively. Now we're going to see what they look like defensively when the season starts because you're going to be challenged by Patrick Mahomes. But we honestly get a chance to see how good Detroit offensively is, and I think they're going to be as dynamic as they were late in the season. So I think I'm glad that they're getting a look on the national stage. All eyes on them. Possibly a division winning team in Detroit. But it is a good look. I'm very excited for that. Yes, community tab up. Yes, I am working, Miss VS. I'm working. I'm trying to put stuff to. I told you I was taking notes, and I was doing it. Hey, we have the Giants game 1. Okay, but some of the other games that they kind of jumped out to me that I know that are on the schedule. Of course, you're going to have the Super Bowl rematch is actually going to happen November 20th, Monday Night Football. I want to say they're in KC. That is going to be a scene. Jalen Hurts, just got his money, just got paid. KC, we're talking about late in the season, so both teams, pushing for possible playoff buys, division leads. So it's not a throwaway game. It's not an early season game. We're talking about late November, right before the Thanksgiving holiday. Could be, it could be a tone setter. It's a game I'm looking forward to on the schedule. Whether I'm a fan of that team or not, I do just enjoy good football. I think that's going to be a real good football game. Like I said, little late in the season, so teams are going to be motivated, going to have something to play for. So good, mark that down. Another game. November is turning out to be where the NFL league is scheduled a lot of prime time marquee type games. Now I like that. November 5th, you got Buffalo and Cincinnati. At Cincinnati, last year, Cincinnati put Buffalo out of the playoffs. Buffalo last season was the presumed AFC favorite to come out last year from that conference. Just didn't happen. Didn't have enough to get by them in the playoffs. They miss Von Miller. What Von Miller looks like when he gets back, I don't know, but we'll break that down as we get closer to the NFL preview. But I'm looking forward to that game. Two young quarterbacks, you're ready to light it up. I like watching Allen play. I definitely like watching Joe Burrow. And I would say this about Joe Burrow. I knew Joe Burrow was going to be a good quarterback in this league, but I didn't know he was going to be this good this early. He has a certain swag about himself, and I'm not talking about his attitude. He just has a certain gravitas about himself. Like, yeah, I'm young, but I don't play young. I play smart. I play winning football. And Cincinnati, whatever that man wants, give it to him. You don't get these kind of quarterbacks. They don't grow on trees. I think, barring injury, we're looking at, Joe Burrow being what they call a generational talent. Like, he could be possibly in the conversation for best player, best quarterback for the next decade. Granted, barring injuries and personnel moves and all that kind of stuff. I'm just talking about what he's produced, the talent level he's playing and showed and displayed. It could be looking at a generational talent, but you can also be saying the same thing about Josh Allen. Is Josh Allen to be a mobile quarterback, to have that big of an arm, that big of a cannon? Now, if he can work on some of his accuracy issues, I think Josh Allen could be in conversation again for MVP. So yeah, I'm looking forward Looking forward to that game. Like I said, with the Philadelphia KC game, you're talking about November, December teams are starting to, really jockeying for playoff position, division position. You're talking about Buffalo and Cincinnati could be battling it out for the number one seed. So it's just a lot on the line, especially this late in the season. So I'm looking forward to that game. And all you Philly fans and 49ers fans, 49ers at the Eagles, December 3rd, kicking off. They're in Philly. Now, I know San Francisco and some of the players have kind of come out even after that game and still into the offseason saying the only reason Philly won that game is because we didn't have a quarterback. Because if you watch the game, Brock Purdy got hurt. Garoppolo was already hurt. Trey Lance was going for the season. I forgot who they put in there. I forgot who the fourth string quarterback was. And, I think even he got hurt. The argument could be made, at full strength would have fully healthy San Francisco beaten Philly. I mean, San Francisco did have the number one defense in the league. Not that Philadelphia was too far behind. Philadelphia had a more dynamic offense, but the way Brock Purdy was playing, the way that offense was clicking with the additions of Christian McCaffrey, the reemergence of George Kittle in that offense, that I get the sentiments of San Francisco fans, San Francisco players. Like, if we have a healthy quarterback, and we're not even talking about Brock Purdy being in the league, if we had a healthy quarterback, would that game have been different? I mean, it's kind of like the what ifs, but that's how it works in sports. When teams players get hurt, it's always that what if. What if Kawhi and PG hadn't got hurt and missed a large chunk of the first round series? Injuries are part of the game, but it's always that what if. So, hey, December 3rd, mark it on your calendar. San Francisco will be traveling to Philadelphia again. NFC Championship game rematch. There's a lot of rematches. A lot of rematches on this schedule. A lot of big games involving big name players, big name teams, and high level stakes. I mean, December 3rd. Could we, like I said, once again, jockey for playoff position. That's why I like they put the big games late into the year. I like that. Another game that kind of jumped out at me, October 8th. Cowboys, 49ers. I've already, sung the praises of the 49ers. Of course, I'm going to sing the praises of America's team, the best team. A win is a win. Hey, I get it, girl. I get it, Miss Murph. I get it, Miss V. A win is a win, but as a fan, you always had that. You didn't beat us at full strength. Like it's you can't get past it. But it's a part of the game. But you was like, if we'd have had our guys at full strength, you wouldn't have beat us. And it's like that nagging feeling in the back of your head. And I get it. And like I said, a lot of rematches. I'm looking forward to this. Kellen Moore is no longer my offensive coordinator. What the offense is going to look like. Will San Francisco still be playing at a high level? Like I said, this is kind of early in the season. October 8th is like week 5, week 6. Early litmus test for us, also for them. Our defense played well in that game, but our offense struggled. And I don't even want to talk about the last play of the game. Yeah, I'm still having nightmares about that game. Like, who the hell runs? Not even a high school. That's like a Pee Wee League football trick play to win the game. Like, I would have been better. You'd have threw the short and been playing the lateral game. What the hell? I can't do it. What else? What other games kind of jumped out? Cincinnati and KC rematch. Those games have always been good. And that's like December 31st. You're talking about number one seed could be on the line. Who's the home team in that one? KC. KC's getting a lot of favorable home games in these rematches. I'm noticing that. But hey, you Super Bowl champion, you're supposed to kind of get those breaks. I've already kind of talked about the praises of Cincinnati KC. Those games that they've played over the last couple seasons has been, I mean, next level. I mean, you could probably better than some of the Super Bowls that have been played recently. But we're gonna kind of move on. We got to move on. Jets, early test at home. Kind of not necessarily the debut of Aaron Rodgers, but I would say Aaron Rodgers on the major stage, the Monday Night Football game. Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen. We're going to see if Aaron Rodgers is the missing ingredient in New York. I personally don't think so, but hey, I'm not the GM. I'm not the coach. Like I said, NFL preview coming close to the season. Probably when the preseason starts, we'll kind of get into that team by team breakdowns, who's added what, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't have, I'm not really high on Rodgers being the missing link in New York. But we're going to find out this season. We're going to find out, considering all that they gave up to get him, considering what he's making as far as his salary. We're going to see. Because you can't say I didn't have a defense. I mean, they went out and got weapons. You got weapons on the offense. They was just missing a competent quarterback. But we're gonna see if Aaron Rodgers is that missing ingredient. I personally don't think so. Barring injury, I don't think the Jets make the playoffs. And you heard it here first. Barring injury, I don't think they're a better team than Buffalo. I don't think they're a better team than Miami. At full strength, healthy? No, I don't. Ms. Murphs asked me a question as the Eagles fan would. Do you honestly believe that Dallas has a shot at taking the NFC East? Good question, Miss Murph. Put me on the spot. Because I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to sound too cocky. But do I think that Philadelphia will have the same record as they did last year? Did Philadelphia get that much better last year?
No.
So to answer your question, do I think we're going to have a chance to take the division? Not a chance, but we're going to take it. Heard it here first. Cowboys are taking the NFC East. I don't give a damn what you say. I don't give a damn how you feel about it. All jokes aside, yeah, yeah. But I think Philadelphia kind of take a step back. I mean, kind of take a step back. You're not, you still have the same quality level of talent, but I think teams are going to be scheming a little bit more to kind of control Jalen Hurts, try to make Jalen Hurts more of a pocket type passer and not let him allow him to get out the pocket. I think the loss of the offensive coordinator could cause a slow start in Philly. So we'll see. Yes, Miss VF. But we'll see. I mean, when you have coaching changes, and when you're talking about the head, the offensive coordinator that you lost, who became head coach out there in Indianapolis, shout out to him. I don't know what kind of system, you really put in place. Do you keep the same system? Is a new play caller calling the same plays? I don't know. But we'll kind of get into that close to the season. I think, like I said, Philadelphia take a step back. I don't think the Giants. I'm giving away the preview show. I'm not gonna do that. Let me get back into some of these games, and then we'll kind of close that show. Cause I want to catch the second half of this game 6, Philadelphia Boston game. Another game that a lot of people may not be talking about, but I'm very excited to see. And I know it's two bad teams, but I'm talking about Houston, Texas, Carolina Panthers, October 29th in Carolina. You could possibly have by that time the number 1 and number 2 picks starting. I mean, I think Carolina is the better team than Houston, but I'm looking forward to see, CJ Stroud against Bryce Young. I mean, and I think at that point in the season, we're talking about end of October. I think both of those guys will probably be starting. I mean, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? I don't know if CJ Stroud's going to be able to get on the field ahead of Davis Mills. Davis Mills is competent as a quarterback, but I think Bryce Young has got a free road to be in starting week 1. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, when we get closer to the season, I'll break it down. 52 to 40. Oh, yeah, so I got to get up out of here. And to answer Gator Girl's question, I saw it in the chat after I ended the show. She's like, "What is dots?" Those that play Madden and play football, dots is when you throw in a pinpoint pass. So pinpoint, when you think about pinpoint on a map, dots, that's what it means. But I saw it and I wanted to answer that because I was like, yeah, I said, damn, I saw it a little too late, but I already ended the show. But yeah, let me kind of get up out of here because I want to get back to the second half. I want to really kind of sit back and enjoy the Denver Phoenix game. I think it'll be a raucous crowd in Phoenix. I'm going to say, like I said, Gator Girl. You heard it here first. If KD and Book go for 35 apiece, Phoenix wins. But I got a feeling that Denver's going to come out with a mindset on jumping them boys early and try to put them away early. But we'll see. We'll see. Tomorrow's episode, I'll do it a little bit early. Be at 8 o'clock start time. I want to kind of break down the game, kind of preview. KD really needed a wheelchair. Yeah, I mean it's the theatrics of it's the theatrics. AD has said he's 100% go for game 6. I think we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I think LA comes out with a mindset of trying to punish these boys, get them up out of here. You do not want to go to a game 7 in Golden State. Like I said, game 7, anything goes. And with Steph Curry's, past performances and big playoff games, not to say LeBron hasn't performed also, but the game 7, I don't want to take my chances on, especially on the road. A guy gets hot. Nah. Go Denver, go Philly. Yeah, I wouldn't. All jokes aside, I'm a Lakers fan. But if it was Denver, Philadelphia, and I know that's not a sexy pick when we're talking about, media coverage and, people being overly hyped about that, because a lot of people, they know who Jokic is, but they're not really in tune with what kind of team Denver has. Denver has a very good squad. But you had the, winners of the last 3 MVPs going head up, both big men. Embiid has given him the business throughout the regular season, but Jokic has been the man in the postseason. But we'll see. Gator Girl says it's going 7. No, I don't think so. But we'll talk about it tomorrow, like 8 o'clock start time. And of course, on Friday I like to do my other thing, but that's going to be different. That is going to be definitely different. But thank you for coming out, listening to me. Thank you for like, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Leave comments, yada 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 yada. I have the highlights for the game for those who don't want to watch it, especially you Phillies fans, you Philly fans, y'all get a certain kind of way when your team lose. So I might give y'all a 30-minute grace period before I do the upload anyway. For those who don't, want to watch the games, want to catch the highlights, of course, I like to upload the highlights as soon as the game ends, goes final. I'll have those 58-40. Let me get back. I gotta get back and watch this game. Thank y'all for coming out. See y'all later. You remember, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm out.